Hello, and welcome to the very first Hatchets, Heels, and Honeys. I am your ringmaster, the queen of the cat fight, Noel Harlow, and with me as always is my homie in horrible disasters, the ZomBabe, Chrissy Rivera.
Hello.
And we are here to give you the feminine Juggalette side of JCW. We are also not new to professional wrestling. Some of you may know me from other Russo shows. I've been on the brand, but you also may know me as being married to somebody horrible and terrible. And he's a nightmare. And guess what? This is part of somebody's revenge. Because if you see behind me here, Chrissy, my jacket says Harlow. And it says JCW. And guess who sent me that jacket, Chrissy?
Who?
Violent J. Guess what,
Mm-mm-mm.
guys? I get all the inside scoops from JCW, and I'm going to be bringing them here with my beautiful friend every week to the Vince Russo brand. We're going to have guests on. We're going to have Vito's Gumads on, and we're going to let you guys know all the inside stuff because we hear it all. Chrissy, the ZomBabe, why don't you give everybody just like a little bit of your background in professional wrestling?
Well. I don't know how much time we have here, but I was involved in professional wrestling since 2005. So that was a very, very long time ago. I worked the Northeast Independent Circuit mostly and worked for a lot of different promotions. I have taken a little backseat on professional wrestling, but Noel did ask me to be part of this. I'm super excited. I love talking gossip. So I am pumped to be part of this show. So thank you, Queen. Obviously, I am so excited to be here.
We are going to be gossiping so much about the JuggleHood. You guys have no idea. I get all these scoops, and Chrissy and I, we love to gossip. This is our thing. And Chrissy, don't downplay yourself. You're a wrestling Hall of Famer. And you're downplaying your Hall. You actually are. And you're downplaying your Hall of Fame career. It's a former member of the Blackout. She's a Hall of Famer. She's a former women's champion. I started in wrestling. You guys hear Dolly May the Underdog? You may hear her in and out. I was a former wrestler. I started in 2001. I stuck 14 years later. I do podcasting, and I am a stroke survivor. Don't hold that against me. So that's a little bit about me for you guys that don't know. So what we're going to talk about here on the first show is we're going to open everybody up to the world of the inside scoops here that we have for Lunacy, JCW's show of shows. Some of the stuff coming up about the tour that they're going to have and being down in Miami in the end of February. I heard rumors that they're going to be going back to Detroit in February as well. There were rumblings. So I have some gossip and some things we're going to get into. Chrissy, this is your first experience with JCW and you're hooked. We were texting last night. You've been watching all the shows. You're hooked.
I am. And first and foremost, I have to just say a little disclaimer. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. But I have a fear of clowns. I have a fear of clowns. I've always had a fear of clowns since I was a kid. Pennywise scared the shit out of me. Very scared of clowns. I'm super into horror and suspense and all that stuff, but clowns scare me a lot. So when Noel asked me to be part of this, I was like, shit. I really have to get over my fear of clowns for this one. I feel like the universe was calling to me in a way because
this is time. We have gone over. Look, who taught you to pump gas? Who taught you to pump gas? Who has tackled all your fears? She's born in Jersey. She never pumped gas. We've taken all your fears and we've taken care of them. And now you're going to be embraced by the Juggalo community. We will have you in face paint. We are working on it, guys. Because let me tell you something. I have listened to ICP since the 90s. This is like a full circle thing. I was an old ICP person from the 90s. I was a Juggalette. I was into it. And then I went away and I'm like really into music, and Chrissy's really into music. She does concerts, this is full circle for us. This is and Chrissy and I teamed up. We used to be, do you remember what our old team was? Team Cat Fight.
Maybe,
The
but we've got some like crazy photos of like you walking me around in like a leash.
Yes,
Like
we've had
crazy
crazy wrestling experiences we're going to share with you guys. I've walked Chrissy on a leash. We've been stranded on the side of the road with flat tires. We've been we have stories you guys wouldn't believe. But this is it's going to be an experience for everybody. Everyone. Now, Chrissy, your first impression of lunacy, the first thing you text me was, "Oh my God, cocaine! It's cocaine!"
When I started researching the show and like looking at the roster and the names, I was like, okay, there's a wrestler named Cocaine, but he spells it Cokane. So I was like, what is this about cocaine?
He's the devil's favorite dealer.
And the crowd loves him. And you know what? Like, I get it. I get it. Like, the crowd loves him. They were super into the match that he was in. When I watched, I was like, this is actually really entertaining.
He's good, but Vito has had his issues with cocaine. Guys, I'm going to get into the gossip here. So we put on the gossip shades.
Yes.
Now we are prepared for the gossip. Now, Chrissy, this slam ball Vito that I happen to be married to, who I do deeply love with all my heart, but he decided to go and have a gumad. You're part Italian. You know what a gumad is, correct?
Sure do.
Gumad. So therefore, Noel Harlow, with the last name LaGrasso, who ain't using it on this show, decided to open up the vault. This man went into JCW and decided he was going to make changes because he didn't want to get pinched. And he thinks that cocaine was going to get him pinched. He gives cocaine a drug test. The zombies contaminated the drug test, let's just say. I had to take Vito's suit to the dry cleaner because it was covered in cocaine pee. So now there was no drug test. Everybody keeps asking results. Guys, the zombies contaminated the drug test. There will never be a drug test results. And I have here in my book, as per Vince Russo, there will be no more drug tests for cocaine. Vito is now required to leave cocaine alone. You will see no more cocaine drug tests. And that is our first inside scoop. Contamination by the zombies, no more drug tests for cocaine.
I believe it. It's legit. It's legit.
Sometimes, they identify as zombies, but we don't really know where they've been or what they've been doing. Mm-hmm. And they hang out with Barnabas, who, by the way, will be here next week on the show. And we're going to ask him where he gets these zombies and what it's like to identify as a zombie. This is new for me.
Listen, we're all about accepting, right? We're all about accepting. And
Juggalos are about love and acceptance.
Yes, exactly. So we got to hear them out. We got to hear them out.
So we're going to find out more about what it's like to identify as a zombie right here next week on Hatchets, Heels, and these two honeys. So Barnabas is going to be here with us.
Super excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm super excited. I've always had kind of this thing where I wanted to be a zombie, but I've never been one.
Well, you might get some tips and tricks next week. Who knows?
Right. Just so everybody is aware, I have a relationship agreement with Mr. LaGrasso. Chrissy, I believe I've told you of this relationship agreement before. Mm-hmm. Where when we started our relationship, sometimes you have to set your boundaries with somebody and what you can do and what you can't do and whatever. So one of my boundaries in my relationship is that if I am ever a zombie, Mr. Vito has to allow me to be a zombie for a full hour before he takes me out so I can enjoy it a little bit. That's part of the relationship agreement.
Okay. I could be down with that. I mean, I think, an hour might not be enough time, but
I'm worried about the rotting. I don't
yeah.
want anything to fall off. Like, I do have large boobs. I don't want that to become a problem. I have a bad back. I'm kind of worried about, there's some metal in there. I don't want to be juggled around. So an hour is enough for me. I'm good with an hour. And, he always tries to jump the gun with stuff. You know how he is. You see him at JCW. I have to make sure that he keeps in his lane. He's got 1 hour and then he can do what he needs to do to take care of things. I'll probably have one of his gumads do it.
Do you trust him enough that he'll do it within the hour?
I gotta leave it to trust on that one. I have to hope that whatever's in the universe pulling the strings will touch his heart and allow me that time as a zombie. One of Vito's things is you can't curse in front of the Christmas tree. The person that curses the most of anybody I ever met on the planet does not curse in front of the Christmas tree.
I can respect that.
It's a boundary.
Yeah, it is a boundary. But what I've been watching, I don't know if Vito's really been respecting boundaries with other people in JCW. He's a little unhinged, to be honest with you.
I'm a little concerned. He's hearing music all the time. And I'll be honest with you, he's hearing it here in the house. And I don't hear it. We were at the grocery store. And we're shopping and we go, they have the big section with the candy. We're over by where they have like the candy nobody wants, like the circus peanuts. And Vito starts tripping out. And he asked me if I hear anything. And they weren't even playing music over the loudspeaker. I have no idea what he's hearing. I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know.
He trips out over circus peanuts.
I mean, circus peanuts are trash.
They're absolute garbage. But for Vito, it triggered something inside of him to where he's like tripping out.
It's kind of like The Ring, like the movie The Ring. It's like 7 days. Like, what's going on? What's going on?
Violent J said, tick and talk. Something to that. I don't know. But guys, Vito is unhinged, not just at JCW, but at the Walmart. That's
at the circus peanuts. At the circus peanuts.
Yeah, crashed out at the circus peanuts. We're lucky we don't have Fago in Florida. I think he would have a complete breakdown.
Oh my goodness! But
I forgot something. We do have paid advertisement. I have to take one moment. This person has an agreement with Vince Russo's The Brand, for which we are here focused, and we are here on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children all ages, your ringmaster, the queen of the catfight, Noel Harlow, must present to you Little Dago. Little Dago is a refreshing drink created by the LaGrasso family all the way back to the Uncle Lucky Luciano. They mix this stuff up apparently in Sicily in a big bucket with a wooden paddle. You can get your own Little Dago on thebigvitobrand.com. They come in a little box. They come with a certificate of authenticity. That big bold goofus signs the back of them. They're worth something. You can sell them. You can drink them. You can shoot them out of a cannon. You can do whatever you want with them. But don't forget Little Dago. That's the paid advertisement time. Next, can we talk about something that has touched our hearts?
Yes, I'm all about touching hearts. Let's go.
My heart has been touched by poor Carrie Morton. Now, we knew of Carrie Morton's father, Ricky Morton.
Are we really going to show our age here, Noel? I guess we are. I guess we're all in, right?
We knew of Ricky Morton, and we have seen Ricky Morton. And sadly, Carrie turned on his father, and him and the Southern Six took their own path. But
sometimes you gotta, though. But sometimes you gotta. Sometimes, family is not always blood. It's the people you meet along the way. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here for Mr. Morton and say, hey, sometimes you gotta create your own path, right? So
I got it.
He's
I
got
get
his
it, and I
reasons.
understand.
He's got
And he
his
has
reasons.
the Southern Six, and he chose them to be his family. But
Mm-hmm.
now he's involved in something with Matt Cross that at first I thought Matt Cross was siding with Kerry Morton. I don't know if you knew a few weeks ago, Violent J and Vince Russo put the company on up on the line, and Kerry Morton represented Mr. Russo,
Mm-hmm.
and he won. Matt Cross interfered. He laid down. He was Violent J's choice to represent him, to save the company for him. And he laid down for Kerry Morton to win. And I thought, are these two siding together? Are they teaming up? No, no. There's something going on there. And he told him within time that he's going to know what this is all about. And I think it's driving Kerry Morton nuts.
It
He
is
was so
possible.
highly affected in that match with Caleb Conley and cocaine. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that this whole Matt Cross thing, them fighting in the parking lot, him looking for him backstage, I think it's affecting his performance in the ring where it cost him the shot at that American Championship.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He's got to stay focused and he's got to like stick to whatever plan he has and just focus on that because it's not doing him any favors right now. Obviously, we've seen. So you saw how mad he was at the last show.
Oh,
So
he lost it. And honestly, how much cocaine did cocaine lose on the ring rat's ass? And
that
that's because of Kerry Morton. He cost cocaine a small fortune in cocaine.
yeah, but he is also from Colombia, so I feel like maybe that's maybe it's a little easy to access that for him more than maybe just the me and you know,
He
maybe it's
always
kind of
seems to
like
have
going and getting bananas or something, at
right.
the
He
store.
always seems to have large amounts of cocaine. And then somebody goes, "Oh, it's just sugar." I have never seen sugar react that way. Not that I'm privy to that kind of thing, but I have seen Scarface just as anybody else has. And honestly, if we've been in wrestling a long time, we've seen a lot of ring rats.
Mhm.
I have never seen a failed attempt at cocaine off a ring rat's ass like that before.
No, that was an epic fail. That was
That's
an
a two
epic
thumbs
fail.
down. Kerry Morton, you got to get yourself back in the business. You got to get your head back in the game. He is a third generation professional wrestler. He's
Mhm.
obsessed with whatever Matt Cross is doing.
I mean, I don't blame him though, because what is going on with Matt Cross, honestly? Like we don't know. We really don't know.
He has
So
this deep seated long term hate for juggalos. Do you think by any way there's some hookup with Vito who has a long term hate for juggalos?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said,
I
Vito's been
haven't heard
very
anything.
unhinged. So
I haven't heard anything, but Vito's unhinged, and I wouldn't put it past him to seek out somebody like a Matt Cross to do his work. Now, as far as Vito's concerned, there was a big debut this week of PCO. He's not human,
not one bit, not
and
one bit.
not at all. And if people don't realize, Vito and PCO actually have a history. To give you a little bit of a way back machine, they wrestled each other in WCW when PCO was still human.
Hmm.
Now that he's not human, Vito had the cashola to give him some dough. And it seems like now it's monster versus monster.
It is possible, but also like, does PCO maybe remember Vito from the WCW days? Like, and he's not leading on with that, like you never know. See, I'm
That's deep.
always like second guessing people's intentions and saying, okay, well, why did you do this? Maybe you have something in your back pocket. So maybe, yeah, PCO not human whatsoever, but maybe there is something in the back of his brain where he can remember his history with Vito and took that money anyway, right? Took that
Next
payout.
week, we need to ask Barnabas if the dead have memories of their former life. Maybe he knows
Gotta
because
write that down.
listen, in the book, writing it right now. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Is Vito and Jasmine's war the war of the genitals? Discuss amongst yourselves. Let me
Mm,
write this down. Barnabas
it is possible. Oof, it is possible.
dead. Remember, I have written that in my anime book.
There we
Oh,
go.
it has Golden Girls on the back. I didn't realize that. I must have put them there at some point. Yeah, the war against the genitals. That's the promo that they, their little announcement of somebody's little Vito and somebody's a tunnel. Can I tell you, Chrissy, as much as I'm very angry with Vito and his behavior, not little. Not little. Why do you think we stay married?
Well,
I'll say this. Vito is 6'1". He's about 200 and maybe 10 pounds, and his first name is Big. It
that
can
is
become
true.
lighter weight.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll end up with that. And let's move on. Here's something that I think that we could really get into. As being former women's wrestlers, so as we are, how about Big Al being the showrunner and putting Haley J through everything she has put her through?
Super impressive. Super impressive, in my opinion, those girls, especially Big Al. I'm super impressed with Big Al.
Big Al has a mind, and she knows how to use it, baby. She's throwing stipulations in there to put herself ahead of the thing. Now, here's the wrench in the works for her. Mickey Knuckles is back. And you and I both aware Mickey Knuckles was on the circuit when we were on the circuit. We are aware of the toughness of Mickey Knuckles. This is a legend in JCW wrestling. She's a legend in hardcore wrestling, Japan, IWA. This woman will punch you in the face with a tennis bracelet full of barbed wire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here she now is back in the mix. What are people like Haley J and Danny Moe, another great competitor in the women's division, what are they going to do with somebody like Mickey Knuckles, who doesn't give a shit? Another monster in this circle of carnival freaks. What do you do with Mickey Knuckles?
I know. And she's very unpredictable, which I understand. She's always been unpredictable in her career, and she's got to do whatever she's got to do. And I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be on the other, the ring with her, because
she's somebody that's unhinged too.
Yeah, she is very unhinged, but I mean, they really gotta, think about the long term here. They have to think of what they're gonna do, because she is a very unpredictable woman.
She really is. And she could come out of nowhere. She's come through the crowd in a hood. She's hung out with people like Madman Pondo, who's another JCW legend who just got fired from JCW for trying to kill someone.
Great.
I mean, she's on that path where she is completely dangerous. And now we have Big Al as the showrunner. She's having some issues with Vince Russo. If Vince Russo pulls her as the showrunner and she's in the mix with all these girls she's been messing with and Mickey Knuckles, I'm going to make it out there prediction. If Mickey Knuckles decides she's going to stay in that women's division because she travels herself to the men's division just as much, she could be our next champion.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. I agree.
But keep your eye on somebody that I think is going to be making their way back up the card for the women's division, especially if Mickey Knuckles decides to go over and set her sights on another title, a man's title. Danny Moe, keep an eye on her. I hear rumblings. Keep an eye on Danny Moe for the future. I think she's somebody that's going to make a big difference here in JCW.
I agree. Super impressive. When I was watching the show, I was like super impressed by her. To be honest, like I've never seen any of her work, and just watching her, I was like, I'm impressed.
I love her style too. She's definitely has that old school us in her. She's got the support of the honeys from the Hatchet. That's for sure. We like Danny Moe. We are impressed with her. Keep an eye out for her. She's going to be somebody that you're going to see make a difference here in JCW. Now, the next part I want to get to is somebody else that's part of the Neon Warriors here, and that's Facade. Now, Facade had a match. He's been doing this 3 series with Ninja F and Mac, who is super over with the Juggalos since he has come into JCW, a well-traveled man, a tiny ninja, if you will. He actually kind of went against the Ninja Coat to win that American title, And everybody's going, don't these ninjas have a code? Are there codes in JCW? Is it just everybody's free, wild, and crazy event? Or is he kind of turning? Is there something about that? What do you think, Chris?
It is possible. I mean, it's so hard to read these people, right? And it's not just because they're under a hood or a mask or makeup or whatever. It's just like so hard to read them. And I just feel like anything can happen at any point. You just never know. You just never, and like, if we could just go back to Ninja Mag versus Facade, that was probably my favorite match on the show. I was super impressed. It was fantastic. I was so entertained, so agile. Ninja Mag is. I was like, holy shit. It reminds me of like Blackout Ruckus, like back
He
in the
does
day.
remind me of Ruckus,
right?
from
Like
Blackout.
just like being able to move like that and being just you look at somebody and say, oh, well, their size, like maybe they're not going to be like, as impressive or something like that. But I was like, holy shit, this guy is awesome. So like it was definitely my favorite, but I can't read him yet. I can't
Yeah,
read him.
it's hard to tell with Ninja Mac. It's like, do we know who's under that mask? Is it something that maybe these two gossipers should be looking into? Is Ninja Mac somebody that maybe we know? Another person is Suicide. Who's under that mask? Is that we have some masked men? Mr. 50s is all in pain. Is that somebody we know? Should we be looking into some of these things? Keep tuned into the show. We're going to look for some exposés because trust me, I have the inside scoop on these things, and I can find things out. And Chrissy and I, we like to dig around and find things out.
I just feel like we have to do some type of internal investigation, right? And say
I think we do. I think we got to have a internal. Maybe I'll get with Vince Russo, who in the future will be on the show, the big boss. Since he's come in, everybody has stepped it up a bit. Everybody has tried to impress the boss. He took away the showrunner position from Vampira this week because, of the attempted murder and everything. That can kind of put a damper, on being in charge. So. A little bit. No police were called in this event. We handled things in-house here in JCW. So no police were called. But he's gone. So now Vince Russo is, again, the male showrunner, while Big Al is the female showrunner. Do you think that Vince will pick somebody to be the next showrunner? And if so, who would be your choice? Who would you like to see be the showrunner? Kerry Morton had thrown his hat in the ring when he represented Vince, and Vince told him no. Mosh Pit Mike had thrown his hat in the ring, and he didn't like that he looked like Vince McMahon. We got to figure out, like, who do you think Vince would pick as the next showrunner?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I do not know. I try to think about it and I'm like, I don't know who I would pick. I try to think of like who I would pick and I'm like, I really don't know who I would pick. And I don't know. I feel for Vince Russo because I feel like he is almost like the Danny Tanner of JCW and he's just trying to keep everybody in some type of order and there's always something going on and somebody's always
everywhere you look. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look, you right out.
I could see that. And I say the Danny Tanner of JCW with all respect, like no
all due respect.
All due respect. No disrespect whatsoever. I just feel like he's just trying to keep everything together and it's just like you can't keep everybody happy. Somebody's always going awry in the house or something's going on and the poor man is frustrated and he's angry and he's yelling behind doors.
He's at a bar. He has to babysit Vito all the time, who's supposed to have his back. And obviously, I feel that pain, Chris, because this is the way that is here.
It's a full-time job, I'm sure.
It is. I mean, Chrissy's one of my best friends on the planet for how many years? Over 20. Over 20 years. how much do I babysit here? I mean, and and Vince is the same way. Vince has been with Vito longer, 35 years. And he wants to be showrunner. I guess if he's Jesse and that makes Jasmine Aunt Becky. The women's division gets to be the girls. I guess
Right.
Big Al is DJ Tanner.
Yep.
Who is Stephanie? Danny Moe can be Stephanie, or no, Haley J. No, Haley J has to be the little one.
Yeah, Haley J's got to be.
She has the dog. That's Comet. We have a full house at JCW. There's a full house of Juggalos, and poor Vince Russo's old Danny Tanner.
Poor Vince Russo. My heart goes out to him.
I don't know how he keeps handling it. So somebody posted on Twitter, one of these guys is going to catch a stroke. And you could see by every response, it's like, yeah. And Vito goes, or catch these hands. And then I go, do you see why Vince can't live his life, Vito? Do you see why you do these things and you say, or catch these hands?
Yep.
This is why. Poor Danny Tanner Russo. This is what he has for his life now.
This is it. And this is why he's stressed. This is why he's screaming behind the doors. And you could just see he's just over it. He's just over the shenanigans, especially with Vito, to be honest. Like, especially with Vito. I don't blame him whatsoever.
I can imagine. I don't have to imagine. But, I mean, working with Vito, I was Vito's manager for several years. I feel your pain. I'm going to send Vince Russo. I'm going to write this down in my book. Send Vince Russo a sympathy card tomorrow. In the book, I'll be sending Vince Russo a sympathy card to Colorado.
Send him an edible arrangement too. Or something.
Oh, that's such a good idea. I wonder what type of fruit he likes. I will send him an edible arrangement. One of those bouquets shaped like a puppy.
Like, I'm sorry.
It'll make him feel better. Quite honestly, I sent him a picture of this, and I'm sure it made his day today because, just to get at Vito just a little bit. Poor Danny Tanner. Well, the main event here today, folks, on our first show, we're getting to. In the center ring is Matt Cardona. And we have gotten a lot of press at JCW this week about Mr. Russo, talking about how he could be a better champion than CM Punk and challenging Triple H, apologies. And Matt Cardona going to the WWE as JCW champion and being unable to defend that title. Now the title is vacant. And we've had kind of a three-way going over this championship with James Storm, Nick Nemeth, and Mr. Anderson. And there's been a lot of heat between James Storm and Mr. Anderson, kind of screwing each other over each and every show. And boy, they've really gone at each other, and they've had some backstage fights. I saw Elvis in one fight. I don't know what's going on there, but only in JCW. But Chrissy, at the end of the day, somebody is going to become JCW champion and carry that moniker on for 2026. In your prediction and why, who do you think will be our champion in 2026?
That's hard to say. That is really hard to say. If I really had to predict, it might be James Storm. I mean, like I said, I'm still new to JCW, so I really have to go back and watch more of, what's been going on, the ins and outs between them. But the stuff that I saw, I mean, I could put my faith behind James Storm for sure.
James Storm is a longtime veteran in the business. He's done everything. I would back you on this James Storm thing, but one thing catches me up. One thing about James Storm catches me up. Right now, like Mr. Anderson said, he's out shooting movies, and maybe he's spreading himself a little thin. And that's the only reason I'm going to go out on a line and say I feel like maybe Mr. Anderson might come out ahead of this one. His focus is on that title.
Mhm.
I know that James was out shooting a movie. He hadn't stepped foot in his house in over 30 days.
Mhm.
How's his training? How's his focus? Is he watching tapes? Is he sitting down? I know Mr. Anderson is. He's been at his school every day. I keep my eye on that kind of stuff so I can give you guys the scoop and we can discuss here. I'm going to say I feel like Mr. Anderson might edge this out. So you're going James Storm. I'm going Mr. Anderson. Let's see where this leads us. And see at the end of the day, who's going to come out ahead with that beautiful new JCW title, which is gorgeous. It's a beautiful belt. Vince Russo debuted it on the show. It's gorgeous. I feel like, oh, and it was also, by the way, on ESPN. They showed a beautiful picture when it first came out. So thank you to the folks at ESPN for sharing that. Vince debuted it on the show. Super nice belt. We're going into a new generation of JCW. Everything is different and everything's the same at the same time. And I'm really excited about it because I've watched for a long time. And, you know, I kind of now am like, you know, on board. And and I get to hear all the good stuff. And every week, guys, we're going to be back here sharing that with you guys. And you're going to be able to hear from all the stars of JCW. They're going to come through here and we're not going to ask the same dumb questions everybody asks. Chrissy, are you sick of the same wrestling interview over and over again? How did you do it in the business?
How did you start? Who is your favorite wrestler growing up?
What was your inspiration? Why do you wear a dress? I don't want to hear these questions anymore, guys. These are shitty questions. I want good questions. Chrissy and I, the ZomBabe and the Queen, we are going to ask those questions that you really want to know. Why do people identify as zombies? Why?
Yes.
Why has Vince Russo put up with Vito for 35 years? Why? Does he have something on him? We're going to find out because he's going to be here. Barnabas is going to be here. I'm going to get Jasmine to be here and find out what really went on because inquiring wives want to know. And I'm going to find out. Me and my best friend are on a journey, a Juggalo journey. And we're bringing you guys with us. And I'm very proud to say, me, Bert and Ernie here, we're back. And we ain't going nowhere. We're here on the Russo brand, and we're going to be here every week. Chrissy, let's wrap this show up. Tell them where they can find you on the internet and whatever else you got going on.
Oh my goodness, the internet. Well, I am on the good old Twitter machine. I do not call it X. I will never call it X. I am Hello Chrissy on Twitter. I have 2 Instagrams. One is kind of boring, to be honest with you, but I also have another one, Hello_Chrissy_, and I have a horror Halloween themed account where I kind of post fun stuff, and that is your favorite ghoul friend. So maybe we could put like the little things at the end so you could see where to find me. And I try to post fun things on there. So that's where you can find me as of right now.
Okay, guys, and you can find me on social media under Mrs. Harlow Bunny. That's me. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, because I don't call it X either, on Twitter. And honestly, I am contractually obligated by marriage and the agreement to tell you that you can find all of our social media stuff on at the Big Vito brand. We do share a TikTok. We have a website at the Big Vito brand where you can find merchandise. I do appear on the Dago t-shirt. You can purchase that at prowrestlingtees.com/the Big Vito brand. And make sure you tune in here every week to see us on the Russo brand. And don't forget to tune into Psychopathic Records on YouTube every Thursday at 7 to catch JCW Lunacy. For the ZomBabe Chrissy Rivera, I am the queen of the catfight, Noel Harlow, and we will see you back here next week. Big Vito, good night wherever you are. Bye-bye.